Talking about a big deal, and big stands for before it's gone. We're talking about a burger that is a blend of chuck, short rib, and brisket. Super flavorful and ready to stock your freezer. We have this in a 10 or a 20 pack, and we're excited to be able to tell you that these cook from frozen, put them on your grill, they do not shrink, and you're going to have something that is really, really perfect. If you're looking for a great burger, not just a good burger, but a great burger, and one that is super juicy, look no further than Rastelli. Ray Rastelli, our own personal butcher, is here with us. Mr. Rastelli, it's good to have you back,
David, it's great to see you.
Nice to have you back here. And this is so exciting because this incorporates 3 different types of meat.
It does, and it's really what I consider the butcher's blend, and David. And when I created this burger, I really thought, what do I want when I eat a burger? What do I want to taste? What do I want the texture to be like? And how tender does it be? So let's talk about the raw meat, because that's really where it starts. So I really want to go to the butcher block, because the butcher block is where everything starts. So these are solid muscles, black Angus beef. This is not trimmings. These are not pieces that have fallen off. This is the short rib. And why do I choose the short rib? Because the beautiful marbling gives us the beautiful taste. I then use the brisket, and of course the brisket gives us that beautiful texture, velvety, soft texture. And then finally I use the chuck, because that's going to give me the tenderness because of that beautiful marbling again. So when you take the short rib, the brisket, and the chuck, solid muscle, you blend that together and you fold it like I've done here. You can see these beautiful striations. They're not broken pieces. This is solid muscle that has actually been ground. And of course, we then smash them into these beautiful patties, which we all know the Rastelli patties are going to actually plump when you cook them.
Oh, and these are amazing. Mr. Rastelli, I'm ready to eat.
Okay.
This is really fantastic. I will tell you, our 20 count is more limited. We also have auto delivery every 60 days for 1 year. So if you're choosing 10 burgers, you get 1 packet of seasoning. Here's the packet of seasoning. And if you choose 20 burgers, you get 2 packets, and the seasoning is resealable. So it's an easy one for you to work with, and we'll hit that with a little seasoning, because I love it. Mr. Rastelli will tell you it's salt, pepper, and a whole lot of secret.
Yeah, a whole lot of secret, but a whole lot of love. And it's what makes this burger incredible. You know, the juiciness.
So tender.
Yes.
And so full of flavor thanks to those 3 types of meat.
That's it. That short rib gives us the beautiful flavor, the chuck, the tenderness.
Yum.
And of course, I want you to see the inside of the burger, because the texture is something that's so important. You can see actually the meat. It's not kind of pasty, because it's solid muscle meat that we're using. And look at the beautiful moisture. That's not fat, because these are lean burgers, but look at how beautiful this is. So if you want a burger that's going to taste as good as any steak, but be much, much more tender and really flavorful, this Butcher's Blend burger is really the one that I've developed specifically for what I love to have.
Now, it's one thing you should know about the Rastelli meat processing facility. They are doing quality control every 15 minutes. Now, the federal government requires facilities like yours to do quality control how often?
Once a month.
Once a month, and you do it every 15 minutes.
We do, and the reason for that is so important because, you know, we inspect what we expect, which means that we've got to have somebody's eyes on every burger. You know, the one compliment people pay to us all the time, and I feel so grateful, is they say, Ray, every burger's exactly the same. Yeah. Every burger's the same size, it plumps. Well, that's because of the quality control. So we've got some beautiful gals who are on the line making sure that every burger is perfect, because at the end of the day,
every one of your products is perfect,
and
right?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's our name that's on the package. It's our name that comes to you. And as a butcher for 48 years now, David, I will tell you, the guests come back into butcher shop each and every week, and I get to see them. So I had better make sure it's going to feed their family.
When you opened up your first butcher shop, you were just getting married, right?
I had just gotten married. We were. My wife and I were 19 years old. So we've been doing this a long, long time.
A long time. And these burgers are amazing. I would tell you now, you're choosing either a 10 or a 20 piece count. If you want the 10 count, I have 3,700 to go around. If you want the 20 count, fewer than 2,500 to go around, and we can do auto delivery every 60 days for 1 year. Let's talk about how they come shipped and then how long they'll last in the freezer.
Sure. So every one is going to come vacuum packaged just like this, and that's so critical, right? Because again, food safety. We want to keep out all the bacteria. We want to lock in all the freshness inside that. Now you can see how lean this burger is. Look how beautiful red it is. Again, solid muscles, right? Short rib, brisket, chuck. It's what makes a burger. In fact, you know, David, when I was a kid, I'd go to the butcher shop with my mom, and it was never, you know, give me some ground beef. It was, let me have that piece to grind or that roast to grind or this piece. And that's what we've done here for you. We've taken it back to the way things were done lots and lots of years ago. And here's what happens with our burger, David. The process is simple. We fold the meat together instead of pressing it together. So
it's so tender.
And that's why on the Rastelli burger, you can see it actually cooks from the inside out instead of around the outside, which is really makes a burger shrink. So because of that, what happens is our burger actually plumps when you drop it on a grill, just like that. That's a real burger from frozen, dropped right on that grill. Now, we've sped up the time, so this is lapse time, but in about 4.5 minutes, you see me dropping some seasoning on. I flip it over and watch what happens. Look at the burger actually plump. And that's the thing that amazes most people when they say, Ray, how do you get your burger to plump? Well, starting with the best products is the beginning of it. And then, of course, making sure we just fold the meat together and don't press it together so that when that burger cooks, it plumps and it doesn't shrink. And David, this is one of the things I think is really kind of neat. Look at the frozen burger uncooked versus the fresh burger, the burger that's already cooked. It's practically the same size, right? So when I say it doesn't shrink, I really mean it. And of course, it's going to plump as well.
Well, and that's what makes these so amazing. Plus, the short rib, the chuck, and the brisket give you this incredible flavor and texture that you would be missing otherwise. Now, I will tell you, these are also fork tender. They're so tender, you can cut them with a fork and use the seasoning on these. Now, Ray, you've got a big old pot of chili there.
I do, you know, and David, all I did is I took 4 of those burgers and I actually threw them in my skillet and I've browned them a little bit. And of course, I just made a little bit of chili. So we know we've got big games coming up, whether it's the burger, whether it's chili, or whether it's our slider. Hi, Rosine.
Thank you. Well, you know, my favorite part is what you teach us about doing the sliders, because you can make smaller portions from one big.
Yes.
Can I have one of those little sliders over there?
Absolutely. So I'm going to show you how I did that.
Well,
Actually,
she's got a little, almost 2 years old.
2-year-old. He just turned 2 weeks ago.
So I took one of my burgers, because remember, they're going to plump, and I made 3 of these beautiful sliders out of each of those burgers. So there's 8 burgers here that made 24 sliders.
I love that.
So you can see how far this is going to go, whether it's on game day.
Ooh,
I will tell you, this afternoon, all 10 of my grandkids are going to be there, David. This is what they're eating, right? Because it's just perfect for them as well, right? It's just a perfect bite
What do you
size
think, bro?
and simple.
It's so flavorful. And I feel like like it's so juicy in there. It's delicious. I mean, you can't really go wrong whether you eat it like that in the chili. That's what you said about the bolognese.
Well,
remember?
yeah, because many times if I'm out of ground beef, I'll just break up some Rastelli burgers.
Yes, absolutely.
And then and brown them in a pan and break them up, and then I'll make meat sauce out of it. And it's really, really simple. What I want you to do is not miss out on this, because this is a great way to stock your freezer and keep a good thing coming over the winter season, because even if you're not using your grill pan, your oven fryer.
Easy weeknight.
800 of these are now gone. Now, if you want the 20 count, 2,200 are available. Few more to go around in the 10 count. Now, if you want to do a low carb dish, and I love this, Ray, I spy this on the table. You can cut this into strips, cover it with cheese, and use it on top of salad. That's a beautiful low-carb dinner right there.
Yes, it is. And even if you'd like to make your own Salisbury steak like I did here, David, I just took that, I sliced it out with some pepper, some onions, and of course I'm going to put a little of my brown gravy on top. Remember, this is solid muscle, short rib, brisket, chuck. Think about what goes into that ground beef. Think about the quality of the product. Black Angus, and also, David, don't forget, these packages are going to hold up for 12 months in your freezer, because this vacuum seal keeps out all the bacteria and it locks in all the freshness.
And let's remember, the Rastelli processing plant does quality control every 15 minutes. You're required by law to do it once a month.
Wow.
They do it every 15 minutes of every hour of every day.
That's impressive. You told me that.
Wow.
It is, and it is the most important thing about what we give to our guests. And Dave, we have a simple saying in the butcher shop: if we wouldn't feed it to our mom, then we can't give it to our guests. And of course, these happen to be my burgers that I created just for my taste buds, which is short rib, brisket, chuck. So I call it the butcher's blend.
We call it the butcher's burger.
Yes.
We call it Ray's burger. All right. And if you're picking up today, we'll call it your burger. Over 1,000 have been ordered in this show, and remember, the big deal pricing is in effect for you right now, so get this while you can. Ro, always good to see you.
Of course.
Folks are chatting with you, I know.
Thanks, Ray.
And Ray,
David,
good to have you
great to
back.
see you. Thank you.